I love this Penguin series starring Colin Farrell. It is fantastic. It feels like Matt Reeves had directed the Batman with Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz and Colin Farrell, who played Penguin. It's almost like Matt Reeves, when they finished the movie, just said, you know what, keep the cameras running and just focus on Colin. Because the Batman came out in 2022. And it just, because it feels like an extension of the movie. It's like, it's shot the same. The ending credits look like I just watched a DC movie. Like, it's great. Like, it's same grittiness of Gotham. Gotham still looks like a mess. Oh, it's so good. And you don't have to be a fan of Batman to watch this series. The only time they mentioned Batman was in the beginning, where they kind of recapped at what happened at the end of the Batman and how it's affecting Gotham right now. So you have to be a fan of Batman. You have to be a fan of comic books to watch this. It's just basically a great crime family show. If you like Succession, which was the crime family was just about a family, but if you like Succession, if you like The Sopranos, if you like The Wire, this should be right up your alley. This should really be up your alley. But I think a lot of people probably won't watch it. Like, I don't like Batman. Forget about that. In fact, I don't even want Batman to be on here. Now, if Bruce Wayne pops up for some reason, because it's only eight episodes, if Bruce Wayne pops up at episode 8, cool. But they really don't need Batman or Bruce Wayne on this show at all. You know, it's been a pretty good year for TV for me. Like, I started off the year watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Donald Glover and Maya Erskine. And then Shogun popped up with Anna Sawai. And now I got this show with Colin Farrell and Cristin Milioti. And let's talk about Colin Farrell for a second. Colin Farrell was fantastic in the Batman, but he's even better here. Like, Colin Farrell's one of those dudes where when you look at his career, it's almost like, man, he's really an underrated actor, right? Because he had that early 2000s. I mean, he was like churning out the hits, and then after that, he just disappeared. It's like he just started making red box movies. Like Brendan Fraser was the same way. Like, these guys was just killing it, and then nothing, and then we haven't seen them again. And then Colin pops up under all that makeup as Penguin, and that's the thing. Like, the way he walks, the way he talks, because he has his New York accent, the way he moves, all this stuff, under all that makeup, you don't see any sense of Colin Farrell. You know, when Eddie Murphy plays like Sherman Klump or Norbit or something like that, he always, for the most part, looks like Eddie. It's just great makeup, but you kind of see Eddie underneath that makeup. There's no sense of Colin Farrell when he's playing Penguin. If you would have told me if he was still alive, if James Gandolfini was under all that makeup, I thought, yeah, I can see James Gandolfini as the Penguin. Yeah, there he is right there. Well, rest in peace, James Gandolfini. But that's what Colin looks like. He actually looks like James Gandolfini in a lot of ways under all that makeup. But it's Colin. It's so good. And one of the reasons why I like his version of the Penguin, it reminds me of Robin Lord Taylor's version of Penguin in Gotham, where in the comic books the Penguin was a guy who was acting like a penguin, right? And so Burgess Meredith did that on the TV series, and Danny DeVito did that in Tim Burton's Batman Returns, right, with Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer. Robin Lord Taylor in Gotham just played Penguin like, I'm not trying to act like a penguin. I'm just this dude who wants to run Gotham one day. He played early Penguin, right, early Oswald. Colin Farrell's doing the same thing. You know, you in the show you see why he walks the way he walks. But he's not playing him like a penguin. He's playing him like, I'm an underboss. He is an underboss. Like, he's not trying to run Gotham yet. He's just a dude that knows his position. He's working for the Falcone family. Like, he knows his job. He got a section of the city that he's running, and he want to keep running that city. He's not trying to knock out anybody. He's just want to do his job. Like, he's a worker bee. Like, he got his section that he's running, and that's how he's doing it, right? So it's fantastic. Now, I'm sure as the episodes go along, we'll start seeing an inkling of, oh, I want to run this town, but it's not there yet. But I'll tell you what the secret weapon of this is. Cristin Milioti, this woman that you see here. Milioti played Leo DiCaprio's wife in The Wolf of Wall Street, and she was great in that. The suffering wife who Leo's character then ran off with Margot Robbie. But then after that, she played, I think, Tracy in How I Met Your Mother. So she has a great range of just playing really good dramatic characters and doing comedy. It's like, oh, she's nice. I like her. Well, in this series, she is crazy. No spoilers. But when we first see her, she's just came back from Arkham Asylum. So if you don't know anything about Batman or anything like that, Arkham Asylum is where Harley Quinn and the Riddler and the Joker are. That's the place for the really insane people. Now, Sofia Falcone is the daughter of Carmine Falcone, who's played by John Turturro, the mob boss in the Batman, right? So she's a mob princess. So when we see her, you can tell like there's something about her that's a little bit off. Like she's playing like she's normal, but it's like her eyes and the way she smiles is like there's something not right about her. It seems like she's just kind of trying to keep it together. There's points in that, but then things happen in that first episode where she's acting a bit off, but then her eyes gets even crazier. Her smile gets even nuttier. And you're like, oh, she's this character. She's this character where, yeah, she's keeping it all together, but when things fall apart, she's going to go insane. And she's a character where stuff is just bubbling underneath. You see it. Like there's a scene early on with Colin where he reminds me of Joe Pesci in Goodfellas. And so, oh yeah, okay, I see that. But she actually is Joe Pesci's character in Goodfellas, where you don't know what's going to set her off. And I think Colin said that in episode 3 or 4, there's going to be a standalone episode where we get to see what happened to her in Arkham Asylum. So she should be really, really good in that. So yeah, I love this show, man. This show is fantastic. The writing's great. The direction's great. Everything's great. Now, as far as it comes to the Batman 2, that won't come out till October 2nd, 2026. My God, man. I'm going to need a senior citizens card by the time these films start coming out. Because also in 2026 is Avengers Doomsday with Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom. That comes out on May 1st, 2026. So 2026 is going to be a big comic book year, right? But that still leaves a couple of years. That's still like 2 years, right? For the next Batman 2 movie. And the Batman, like the Penguin is only 8 episodes this year. So you got to think that they'll have a season 2. So hopefully that will be back in 2025. And I think they said that Matt Reeves, I think they're also developing an Arkham Asylum TV series, which is interesting. But to be honest, I would love to see a Falcone series starring Cristin, Milioti as Sofia. Bring back John Turturro as Carmine Falcone. And she has a brother who's also in the Penguin. In the big, there's a Falcone brother that's also in this series. But I would love to have HBO have a Falcone series because that feels like that Succession Sopranos slot. I would love and have the show set before the Batman, so you can kind of see Carmine Falcone and how he deals with his family and how he dealt with Gotham City as a mob boss. That'd be fantastic to have a Falcone series, but I don't think it's going to happen because they got too many projects that's coming around. But hey, Matt Reeves, if you ever come across my video and you come across an idea for a Falcone series, please at least give me a co-executive producer credit. I'm not even asking for a full executive producer credit. I'm just asking for a co. Can you give me a co-credit? Because I think that would be excellent. But yeah, do yourself a favor. If you got HBO Max, tune in to watch Penguin. It comes on HBO Max on Thursdays. So watch it on Thursdays. Or if you don't have HBO Max, it's on HBO every Sunday at 9 o'clock. They got the prime 9 p.m. slot every Sunday. The Sopranos slot, the Wire slot. They got that slot. Succession slot. They got that slot. So yeah, do yourself a favor. It's a really good show. Shout out to Colin Farrell, who should be, it's early for the Emmys because we just had the Emmys, but he should be considered for an Emmy for this. Will he? I don't know. Sometimes they hate comic book shows like that. But definitely Cristin Milioti should be considered for something because eventually she's going to go crazy. But what's going to cause it? Only God knows.